What is happening, people? Welcome. It is The Drop. We're Cactus Music headquarters. My home away from home. Quinn
Seems
Bishop,
like it, yeah,
owner, CEO, the big boss, joining us riding shotgun, and he has the list. Come on, baby. You want new music? Get ready.
Oh, we got it. And we're going to kick it off. We're going to talk about some in-store performances. So great to have those back here at the Cactus stage. This Saturday at 4 p.m., we have a great one for you. Batty Jr. And you're like, who is Batty Jr.? Well, Batty Jr., members of Wild Child, the very
out of Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas band. And this is a fun group. They're kind of making the rounds on their first big Texas tour, so we're happy to host them. And Mr. Shaky Graves says that it's brilliant lyrics, identity, and melody humor. I'm not sure what that means.
High praise from
Shaky Graves guy. Complimentary St. Arnold beverages at the store for the in-store. And I think this is going to be really fun. We hope to see people out and supporting this band. And I should have made a note.
So if we had to let the folks know, sounds like in the ball of genre, maybe?
That's tough.
Country?
No.
Americana?
It's kind of
rock,
kooky fun, acoustic-y rock stuff.
Got it. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Violent Femmes?
There's probably a little bit of that.
Who knows? All right,
yeah, there you go. You're going to have to draw your own conclusions on that.
Thank you.
Just like that cover is drawn. And then I love it when we get to talk about two in-stores. And then right after that, when you would normally tune in for The Drop next week, 1 p.m. on Thursday, the 5th of October, we have Maisie Peters is here. Check out Maisie Peters. She has a new album called The Good Witch. And what you need to know about that is she is an absolute sensation in the UK. She's the youngest female to ever have a #1 LP in the UK. Album is The Good Witch. And she's often compared to Taylor Swift.
Really?
And to somebody I really like, Lily Allen. I love Lily Allen. People are making a lot of comparisons to her. Should be cool. I mean, catch a star on the rides. This is the place to do it.
This is the place to do it.
She's doing just a few events in the U.S. I think there's 5 of them. We're very pleased to host one. So hope you'll come down and meet her. And she's a short performance followed by a signing. And hopefully it's one of those things where
you can say
you were here.
Saw Cactus Music. Right.
Sorry, Cactus Music. We've got plenty of those, but that should be fun. I'm going to also mention there's no beverage service on that day.
No beverage, guys.
1 p.m. and a lot of kids. So all right. So now the new release portion of the drop.
Good stuff. Here we go. Let's get it.
Let's kick it in. And we're going to play Spot the Pigeon with a name here. This is the brand new record from Wilco, and it's called Cousin. And so the last Wilco record was this kind of woodsy, rootsy kind of country, cruel country record, right?
Yeah.
It was kind of monotone for me. I liked it enough. It kind of got in one groove and just went.
Yes.
This record is completely different. It is like kind of out there, kind of outsidery. Just, I don't know. I've only heard the single, but the single is really, really different. Rock record. Recorded, of course, at their studio, The Loft. 10 new songs by Jeff Tweedy. And this is the first time they've used an outside producer since Yankee Hotel Foxtrot.
Kate LeBon.
Kate LeBon.
Wow. That's cool.
If you don't know her, she's a Welsh singer and really kind of she's cool and different. So it's cool. I'm dying to hear how this record turns out.
Yeah.
So,
well, Wilco Nation is up in arms.
They're supporting.
Right now. They are supporting now.
So get ready.
That is a hardcore fan base.
Okay. And and that one's out Friday. Another record that's fresh out that people are flipping out for is the new Doja Cat record. This is her 4th album. This is the first album that she's written all the music for.
Oh,
so it's all been collabs, but the LP will follow later. But she just dropped the CD in digitally.
Do I have this wrong? Was Doja not the artist like walking away from the music industry last year? Was that her? She was like, "That's it, I'm done."
I don't think.
And then
so. Like
2 weeks later, she was back. Who am I getting? I've got somebody
There's
else.
There's a long list of those, man.
Female artists, kind of in that more leaning in that hip hop pop world. Who was it? It was really funny because she like made the big announcement. Yep, that's it. I'm leaving. And then 2 weeks later, she was back.
Did you miss me?
Anyway, this is a cool cover too.
Cool cover. The single is "Paint the Town Red." We've been listening to this much in the store.
You like it?
Record. Yeah, we do.
Right.
Grammy Award winning. This should continue. She's a superstar at this point. This should continue.
We cannot say some of these song titles.
No, you cannot. There's a lot of
why? Oh, that's fun.
It's fun. There's a lot of that on there. So
good.
So
Doja hasn't lost her sense of humor.
Doja, not safe for work.
Yeah, yeah, right. And
not safe for drop. Not safe for the drop.
W.
We're keeping the Great Lady Cavalcade rolling right along here with the brand new Kylie Minogue record. This is called Tension. You know,
I haven't heard it yet, but I saw all the guys in the store posting about it.
I love that the quote. She describes it as euphoric, empowered dance floor bangers and sultry pop cuts.
There is nothing left to the imagination there.
You know, these last like three or four records by her, so she's always been a worldwide sensation.
Huge. Yes, yeah. People are obsessed with her.
Huge. Her like 2019. I don't know why I remember, but her 2019 Glastonbury performance was the most like streamed, watched performance ever at Glastonbury. Like people just like,
and still in the US, people are aware of her, but she's nowhere near that level of.
In the UK, she's the only female artist to have a #1 album in 5 decades. Isn't that?
I was
crazy?
about to look up how old she is because she's
God, 55, I think
she's got to be.
She's 55. So here's a funny one. Talk about how big she is internationally.
Yeah.
Like remember when Kylie Jenner tried to trademark the name Kylie?
Yeah.
So nobody ever mentioned her that like everywhere else but the United States.
Yes.
There's another.
You're the least known Kylie.
The least known Kylie.
That's fantastic. Good for her, man.
Yeah, this record is fun. We've been listening to this too. It's great. I mean, it's one for the fans.
That's fantastic.
And,
I love that.
You know, it's kind of she's so
that
fun.
makes me
it's
happy.
Kind of a throwback disco-y thing. Love
makes me happy.
And now for something completely different. There's a really shiny brand new.
Oh my God! Yes.
Teenage Fan Club record. This is their second album. They're kind of settling into a groove with just 2 songwriters. There's always been 3 in the band. This is really kind of a moody, quieter record. I like it. It's a departure from the previous one. Haven't spent a lot of time with it, but he has some indie store. I think we've got indie store exclusive vinyl on all these except for the Wilco.
It is shiny.
What is this one? This is half silver, half black. I kind of want to see what that looks like.
Yeah, I do too.
But Nothing Lasts Forever is the name of the album, and this is the quickest turnaround between records, I think, for them, maybe ever, since early on.
Yeah.
So fans are excited about it, and I am too.
Because there was a little lull in their output.
There was a big lull.
Yeah.
Big lull. Taking time off.
It's a good one.
Okay, and there's a brand new James Blake record. I love the title, Playing Robots into Heaven.
Nice.
Super influential UK songwriter, producer. I think a visionary artist. He really kind of, as far as the electronic-y, claustrophobic sounding alternative soul thing, like he kind of invented that whole thing.
Yeah.
And really, he is great. This record will not, again, pioneering artist and electronic. If you're a fan, you won't be disappointed. And if you're not, you should listen to it because he is really cool. His records sound like nobody else.
I love this.
And I dig it.
Nice. What fun.
Okay, this is a fun one. This is fun. Talia's mixtape.
Oh my goodness.
So tape.
Yeah. It's all
outfit. And that is an outfit, my friend. So she has another network. She has this really people flipping out over this series. It's her tribute to Rock and Espanol from the 80s.
Oh,
and
cool.
it's her doing all these songs
that.
with guests. It's cool.
I know a few fans.
Oh yeah.
That, I mean,
it sounds like what the cover looks like.
Are absolutely crazy about her, and she's another one. She's been around for a minute, man.
She's been around a long time, and I'll tell you the thing I love about this. I love it when artists really show their stripes and like, man, I'm crazy about it. She's a super fan of music from this era, picks cool tracks as well as hits, and if you're a fan of music from that era or a fan of her, this is a great record.
A lot of the track listings and everything's in Spanish, but I'll read you. What do we call the little label on the
hype sticker?
This is the hype sticker, y'all. See, there's knowledge to be had here. So I'll translate. Do not miss Talia's mixtape, The Soundtrack of My Life. Yeah, that's it.
Sweet.
Were you waiting for more? It just kind of ended.
That's okay. That's good. That's good. Yeah, check it out. Supposedly the show's really terrific.
Yeah.
Oh, so good for Talia. She's back.
International vibe for you guys.
And we both like this guy. This is the brand new Andy Taylor record. This is Man's a Wolf to Man.
I didn't even know he had one coming.
So here's the crazy thing. This was this was, as it was sold to us, being set up to be his final record because he had stage 4 I can't remember which
Oh,
cancer.
that's right. Yeah, I remember
but
he was sick.
like, he struggled to finish this record, was super sick, and then now supposedly he's in remission and
Thank
cancer
God.
free.
Thank God.
But Duran Duran guitar player, really, really,
And Power Station.
yeah, super tasteful, simple rock and put it across.
Well, I could not have said that better. That guy got the most out of a few killer notes.
Yeah, and even
You
if you're
know.
not a fan of that band, generally guitar guys were a fan of him because
Yep.
he really put it across such a good way. And he sings really well on this record.
Good for Andy.
And he's got a story to tell. So check it out if you're a fan at all. And
Get it.
Yeah, get it. It's cool. It's cool that he can really celebrate the release of this record
man.
and
He's fine.
a new lease on life.
He's like, I'm back.
Okay, Devendra Banhart.
Yes.
Outsidery, folky dude. This is a cool record. And guess who it was produced by? Kayla Bond.
Oh God.
Which is, she's been really busy. For
God.
somebody who's not known as a producer, she's like working with two pretty high
She's
profile
the new Rick
artists.
Ruben.
She might be. So what you need to know about him, he's kind of quietly made a bunch of records, kind of an outsidery hippie folk artist. This is very much kind of channeling, I think, kind of Grateful Dead and like Brian Eno at the same time. It's very sonically spacious, but he's cool. It's not for everybody, but it's a little too hippie for me. But I'm digging what he's putting
he's
down.
got a few songs that I like.
Yeah, he's cool, no doubt. And he kind of tapped into that. I feel like there was a lot of artists that sold a lot of records after he had already kind of established
His thing.
that
Yeah.
genre, and they took a little bit of what he was
Yeah.
doing and sold a lot more records. So worth checking out. Okay, we got a little bitty record right here. We got a 7-inch single. This is cool. This is like the coolest collab of the year, I think. Anyway,
Hit me.
you got Thundercat and Tame Impala
Jeez.
on the same track doing No More Lies.
Thundercat's been busy.
He has been busy.
That
He's always busy.
dude's been on everything.
And this thing sounds, if you're familiar
Exactly
with it,
what you
think it is. It sounds exactly okay. So
Yeah.
I'm going to open this because
Yeah.
supposedly the
like
vinyl
psych
itself,
like psych rock with some super funky 6-string bass.
like Bootsy Collins,
Yes.
kind of.
Yeah.
So the vinyl
Yeah.
on this is supposed to be crazy looking. Let's check it out. Have we ever opened a record?
Never.
I don't know.
It's a floppy disk. Never mind.
Oh, it's cheetah color. How cool is that?
What is it?
And it's got the Thundercat logo on the backside.
Nice.
Except I'm holding it upside down. That is
That's
really
fantastic.
cool. I'm glad I opened that. That's
That is
good.
fantastic. Can you get it?
Yeah. So we did an in-store with Thundercat once.
Of course you did.
He was super high.
Yeah, I was about to say, man, that built up just like
Woo!
Just
Man,
like-
the party began. I
Yeah.
think it was from the night
30,000
before.
feet.
Oh yeah.
He was so high, he had a stewardess with him.
And he was super cool. People were over the moon to meet him. And he was over
I've
the
heard
moon as
things.
well.
I don't know any of this from personal experience.
He was out there. Okay.
Yes.
One of our faves are doing
Hell
this.
yeah.
Krunbin, they're doing
Hell
this
yeah.
series where they're doing these live albums from their favorite venues around the country
The-
with other artists.
The only artist actually busier than Thundercat.
Yeah. And they did a good job of like getting all these live shows down so they could take some time off because they've been working so hard. This is a split live LP with them and Toro et Moi. You get some of the best Toro et Moi
just so smart.
jams and it's some of the best Krunbin jams.
Dude,
And it's like a party.
I can't tell you where I was the other day. It might have been like Great Clips or something getting my hair cut,
Heard 'em.
and there was Krunbin on the. I mean, at this point, they've gone through this
Oh.
threshold.
It's for broadcast and production, like they're in the bed of like everything. Everything.
And
And they close with like one of my very favorite songs by them.
oh yeah. Phew. Jeez.
So this is fun.
Good for that, and nice guys, super sweet, kids.
Sweet people.
super sweet. Kids.
And they've
I'm
had
happy for them.
Yeah, they've had a live album every few months. So
Really
they're
happy for
keeping
them.
it going.
Really happy for them.
All right, we're going to talk the
Oh, this is
much
God.
lauded reissue program of our show.
nostalgia.
And we actually kind of a part 1, part 2 of our reissue program. We're going to kick it off with one of the biggest albums of like the college alternative rock era. This is the Breeders' Last Splash. This is going to blow your brain. The 30th anniversary.
Dear Lord.
Like,
well,
really?
you know,
Come on.
this is an important album. I mean,
It is. It's one of the best
don't have
records
it-
of that era.
If you don't
It
have
is.
it, this is what you know, I was part of the, you know, people that were huge fans of the Pixies. You know, I was part of that
Oh,
group.
yeah.
So I was
I'm right
such
there
a
with
huge
you.
fan of the Pixies. And I remember I had a chance to meet them, and I was just a huge fan. And I remember when they, I think it was like Spin Magazine or something, because again, this was back when you know you just couldn't turn on the, or maybe it was MTV News or something. They said that Kim Deal had left the Pixies,
Oh yeah.
and I was like, that's impossible.
Mm.
And then how do we even move forward in the world?
Right,
You know,
she's
I
such
just
a big
did, I
part of
just
that
did
band,
not
especially for the
understand.
background vocal.
I didn't understand it. And then when this record came out, it was a great record, but it was like, yeah, it's the real deal. There's no
Yeah.
going back.
It's
It's
the real
yeah,
deal. I see what you did.
it happened. I'm sorry.
So I met them one
I did
time,
do that.
and when they broke up, I knew exactly why they broke up. Because when I'm like, ooh, these people do not like each other.
What album were they on? Do you remember?
Was after they played at Numbers?
No, because the first time at Numbers was Doolittle.
Then it was after that, and man, they were like not.
So what was after that? What was the album? It was Trompe Le Monde?
That was when they played at.
It was the album
the
that
Vatican.
it's the album that they had the Jesus and Mary Chain cover on it.
Yeah.
Da, na, 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 get to you. Na, 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 na. Whatever.
We're riffing.
I'm
All
terrible.
right. All
I'm
right. That's
terrible.
okay.
I should know that.
We
It was a
didn't-
long
we
time
didn't
ago,
rehearse.
folks. It was a long time ago.
We're going off script.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's great. Lots of bonus material, live stuff that's never been available for the first
Get
time.
it.
If you're a fan, check that out.
Get it.
And then, man, you know, I mean, Latina,
I've never heard this. I'm
Music.
aware of this, but I've never heard that.
they're just so underserved by vinyl. And well, you get a couple of massively huge Shakira records out, finally available on LP. You get the Unplugged, and you got the Donde Están los Ladrones. She's very obsessed about her laundry. But these records, can I tell you?
Yeah,
I'm
go.
gonna point out a shortcoming
Go.
of vinyl reissues from
Yeah.
the late 80s and
Yeah.
90s. This one's from 98. If you look at the artwork, you can tell based on the resolution, they discarded the original artwork and had to scan it in from something.
Really?
Which is happening a lot with LPs. It in no way.
Because you can tell because it's
Yeah,
like,
you can tell the cover's a little fuzzy, especially on the
yeah,
back.
yeah.
But I mean,
never
in no
noticed
way
that.
has an effect on the music, but it's just kind of in the music industry, everybody thought things were getting smaller, you know, LP, CD, you know, digital, and then, oh, hey, we need this big artwork again that we threw that away 20 years ago.
I saw.
Whoopsie.
I was in Miami. I was at the Super Bowl when her and J-Lo did the thing.
Oh, were you
And,
now?
yeah, man. And the people were like, I can't remember. There was so much static over that performance, like leading up to it. There was just so much. I don't know. People were like, oh, why are these two? Oh, they just put two Latinas together because wow, it was
that was a whole. I remember that.
It was
a
a
whole
thing.
thing.
It was
So
a thing,
anyway,
but it was good.
if you're a Shakira fan, there's been really no records.
Yes.
But now there's records, so you can pick them up.
Oh, look at this.
And this
Good
is a big one.
record.
These are some of my favorite records.
Oh
ever.
yes,
The
that's the one for me.
the
The first one I heard.
Triptych of Genius, Tom Waits records for the Island Record Company, beginning with Rain Dogs,
Rain Dogs.
and then Swordfish Trombones, and then Frank's Wild
Frank's
Years.
Wild
This
Years,
is a
yeah.
trilogy that is conceptual. It's cool. I love these records so much. They're
This dude's
great.
a genius.
They haven't been available on vinyl in a long
Yeah.
time. He and his wife Kathleen Brennan remastered them from the original source tapes. They sound great, and I wanted to show one on CD because the CD packaging replicates the LP packaging, so it's like a
Oh,
gold
interesting.
kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
thing.
Super cool.
So man, this record
Oh,
this
God.
record because Keith Richards was on it. Bought this record, heard a song on KPFT. It's like, but I'd always been like,
Yeah.
knew that he was cool. At the time when I bought this was easily the weirdest record that I had. And of course now compared to his later records, this sounds like
Yeah, real mainstream.
Don't Stop Believing or something.
Yeah, it's the first time I heard Mark Rebo play
Oh,
guitar, and I was like, I know it's a guitar, but how is he getting that?
I know.
What is that?
And the way he bends the notes and
He's
everything
just-
is like,
Ugh.
is it in tune? I don't know.
What
that
is
guitar
it?
solo and Hang Down Your Head.
Oh my God,
Sweet.
it's brilliant.
Yeah. So
So-
these are available. So go grab
So
them.
one quick thing about Rebo, he was part of what they called the downtown guitarists, you know, which are like
I
all
don't
these
know this.
Berkeley cats that would play in the
Oh,
Village
yeah.
and could play any jazz gig. You know, Stern was one of
Mhm.
those guys, you know, but Reba was least famous of some of those guys. And I started trying to find out as much as I could about the guy. And he liked buying the cheapest equipment he could get, like real pawn shop, like harmony guitars that weren't really even working that well, and
Yeah.
cheap amplifiers. And he liked that sound,
That's cool.
you know, just that primal kind of like that nobody
And
else
that's what
in
his
their
playing sounds
yeah
like
that
on these
nobody else in their
records.
right mind would want that sound. Like that sounds terrible.
And that sounds like ear candy to Tom Waits.
But yeah, exactly. But he's a talented, crazy, one of those guitars. He can play anything.
Can play anything and play it differently than anybody
It's
else
just
would.
amazing.
Anybody else would. Okay.
Yes.
Hey, so this
Some
is
good
like
solo stuff.
reissue program part 2 of the drop. Let's celebrate hip hop's 50th right now.
Oh,
right here, right
yes.
now.
Come on.
We've got some really cool records. You know, industry wide, there's a celebration of the 50th anniversary of hip hop, and you know, it's a great opportunity to reissue some records in unique color variants, but also make some records available that have not been available, and that's what we're looking at here.
So for people that are doing the math and they're going, wait a minute, hip hop didn't start in 1973.
Well, the roots, there's, we can't drill down into that.
I read that it was going back to the early basement DJ parties like that Cool Herc and those guys threw.
That's it.
That they said that's where it came from.
And Herc was the first guy to loop the beats, and that's where it came from with people rapping over it. So that's exactly, you got this right. All right, so let's kick it off. There's a bunch of debut albums. We're going to talk about debut albums here. Available again, The Great Adventures of Slick Rick, Def Jam's Classic. And so all these records we're talking about here that are on Def Jam, these are on Punch Bowl colored vinyl, which in case you're wondering, that is burgundy, kind of purpley looking. It's cool. But this record's a huge 1988 debut. It topped the R&B Billboard charts, and this is so cool. This is Nas and Busta Rhymes like favorite album.
Oh, like, dude, this is come on, man.
Children's Story is listed as one of the top 100 greatest rap songs of all time. That one's up there. There's some titles we cannot share with you.
If you have it, you know.
But and these are three very different records. You know, this is like a fun kind of crazy.
Yeah, he was definitely the get the party started.
Get the party
hip-hop
started
artist.
guy. This next one is not. This is Public Enemy's Bum Rush the Show. This is their 87 debut. This introduced the world to Flavor Flav and
Banger.
Chuck D, and this is
monster.
Really introduced their amazing. These records for me when they came out, like I was like, man, this is so deep sounding with all the samples, like just more samples on one record than you'd ever heard.
Yeah,
and a more
it caught your ear immediately
in a more realistic, a more serious tone on this record than any other hip hop artist of a rap of
these. These were not party rhymes.
That is not a party rhyme. No. It was very socially conscious and a huge record, hugely influential. Record as was most of their work.
So good.
So
good. Yeah, if you don't have this in your collection, folks.
So we go from the street silly partying to the snotty. Why It's Licensed to Ill, the Beastie Boys debut album, and from '87. And so these records, I'm sorry, '86. Monster. So these records are all released like within just roughly a year of each other.
Yeah.
I mean, this record.
Are they all Def Jam?
They're all Def Jam.
They're all Def Jam. Yeah. You said
and I mean, there's just such a difference between these three records, but they're all classics, and being celebrated right now. You can get your hip hop party going.
That's a monster.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Punch Bowl colored vinyl.
Punch Bowl.
Look out! All right, we're gonna close the hip hop 50th with
Oh, it just keeps getting better.
It just keeps getting better.
Getting better.
All right, we're celebrating another debut.
Hell yeah!
They're doing a series of limited edition 7-inches to celebrate De La Soul's debut albums. You got the singles from that.
Yeah,
you got these are cool. You got Me, Myself, and I, and I think these are replications of CD single artwork because there was no 7-inches. That's why these are the first time available.
The beautiful thing of these albums that we've just talked about is the fact that these guys within what was this blooming or just hip hop in really kind of its infancy compared to what we know now, and how stylistically each one of them had their own thing.
They did, yeah. I mean, I think, and you know, for the detractors of that era, they just like threw everything in one bucket. But I mean,
and now it's all going back there.
These 4 albums that we're talking about are all very, very, very different records.
Yeah,
and they're all kind of,
and you can see some of those styles.
Yeah,
even in, you know, it doesn't matter if you're talking Little Nas X or you're talking, you know, whatever you're talking.
It's defined now. Yeah.
Even some of the, like the SoundCloud rappers and the guys that we find out about them, they've already got 2 billion streams. You know.
No doubt. So anyway, so there's gonna be a whole series of these. These are the first 2 featuring
so cool.
I can see who else on it, but
I can't see who's on here.
Yeah, the print is
and they went with tiny little print that no one can read this.
Nobody can read this.
No one can read this.
Nobody old enough to that bought this originally can read this. But anyways, great series, and so cool that these guys are, you know, the music was unavailable for the better part of you know, well over a decade, and
for God's sakes, they took inspiration from a Sesame Street song and put it in a hip hop.
I have a friend who's trying to so he's a rock guy, hip hop guy, and he's like, man, that record's like the Sgt. Pepper of rap. I'm like,
not too far off.
Not too far,
because it was trippy,
psychedelic and fun.
It was trippy.
All right, now we've gotten to the Vinyl Vault.
Let's do it. Are we at the Vault?
We're at the Vinyl. We're at the Vault.
No jazz this week. There is no jazz this week.
There is no jazz.
That's crazy. A world without jazz.
We doubled down on our hip-hop.
I know, a world without jazz. All right, so Vinyl Vault, and full disclosure, the Vinyl Vault I've had sitting on my desk to bring for the past 3 weeks is still sitting on my desk. And I walk through the door and Quinn's like, "Get the Vinyl Vault?" I'm like, "Yeah, let me just browse the stacks real quick." So I love this album for a million different reasons. Number one, it's Keith Richards, and number 2, we've talked about this when the big box set was out.
It's crazy.
A while ago, right? But this is live at the Hollywood Palladium. Keith Richards and the Expensive Winos, and it's one of the greatest, I don't know, live recordings by a rock band.
It's great. Yeah, it's terrific.
It's
all-star, just
it's Stonesy, but then at the same time, it's other things. You know, he gets into, like, of course, Keith's always had a love for reggae and for, you know, stuff like that. And he put the most killer band together. I mean, these guys.
And the set list is cool, man. You got some Stone songs in there.
Yeah.
You got some of his, you know, solo tunes, a few covers. He goes back to From Between the Buttons to Connection, which is he still does today.
Yeah,
one of his better tunes. And the catalyst for this whole thing was that the show, which I think was for broadcast somewhere, was getting bootlegged like crazy. You can buy bootleg CDs and DVDs in stores. They're like, let's do this on our own. Performance is terrific.
So the original, this is one of the reissue ones, right? This isn't the original.
It was never on vinyl to begin with. Only the first Keith record.
Because I had it on CD. I bought it on CD when it came out. I bought it on CD, and it's just incredible, man. It's just a, I don't know. It's just a rock and roll album, man. And I love Keith. A lot of people don't love Keith as a singer. You know, a lot of people. Well, I know people that are like, well, why does Keith Richards sing? And I'm like, because it's fucking amazing. And I said fudging, whatever I said. Anyway, but you know, Waddy Wachtel, Steve Jordan, Charlie Drayton, Sarah Dash shows up, Bobby Keys, Ivan Neville. I mean, I don't know who else you could put on that would make this better.
It's great.
But man, they're just cooking, and it's such a and the video, the actual video of the performance is a lot of fun too to watch. Just them kind of get through it.
Yeah. So this follows the first solo album, and then he goes on tour, and I mean, I really, you talk about him singing.
Yeah.
Some people don't really know, but his version of "Time Is on My Side" is such a
great.
cool version of that
heartfelt.
Tune. Yeah.
You know, and it's and it's really, really well done. And
I wish I would have been able to see one of those shows. I think there's only like 10
great
shows.
Because they reunited last year, right? Or the year before, and did it. Yeah,
they did it for a charity.
They did it for a charity thing, and I'm like, why aren't you guys doing? Well, Steve Jordan's in the Stones now, so
yeah,
you know,
he's doing a good job, by the way.
That dude is one of my favorite drummers. I would tell people, honestly, you could give him 2 pencils and a Coke can, and sample that and play it for me, and I would know it's Steve Jordan.
Wow,
That dude just has that swing.
He does.
He's
swing.
got that weird, and he's got a certain little pop to his snare that I just
hopefully
love
we'll get to
so
see
much.
him play
God, I
with
hope
the
so.
Stones. I hope
Yeah.
we get a
What do you
show.
think about the new the single?
First track is great. The second one dropped
like
today.
it.
I didn't get a chance to listen
I haven't
to this
heard it
one.
yet.
I think it's great. I think it's great.
I
song.
like it a lot,
Yeah,
man.
me too.
I like it a lot. I was reading a quote, and Jagger says, I think he calls Keith Richards, said, "We need to record this now. We need to make this album now." I think was the conversation they had.
Yeah.
So get in the studio right now. So, all right, cool. Let's do it. And they made it happen. All right. So quick recap in store. Tell everybody.
In store this Saturday, 4 p.m. You got Batty Jr. Complimentary St. Arlo beverages. Cool hip Austin band. It's going to be super fun. And then next Thursday, 1 p.m. Maisie Peters is going to be here.
No beverages.
No beverages on Thursday because it's the middle of the day and we're going to have some chillins here. But
Which-
it's going to be great.
Well, that means that we'll have to tape
We're
the
gonna
drop for you.
tape
For those
the
of you that
drop.
can't get to Cactus. And again, if you haven't been here or you haven't been here in a while, you've never been here, put it on your list. Come down to Cactus Music and support your local independently owned record store. When do we get another record store day?
Black Friday will be like
That's the big one.
the big one is in April, but Black Friday's still
Black Friday's big.
pretty
It's
good,
coming.
yeah.
You guys know what that is. It's getting close to turkey time. All right, we're over. We're leaving. We'll see you next week. Don't forget about the in-stores. We're out of here. Peace. I get to push the button this time.
Do you?
I do. Check it out. Ready?
Nice.